Louisiana beer reviews, Budweiser Copper Lager Jim Beam, introduced in September 2018, but here we are in August. It's already on the shelves. I saw this at Walmart this morning for $7.42 a six-pack. I paid $7.59 a six-pack at for the six-pack at Rouse's in Kenner on Power Boulevard. Freshest before November 23rd, 2018. Okay. 6.2% alcohol. It's aged with Jim Beam barrel staves, okay? Made in collaboration, it's a collaboration between Anheuser-Busch InBev and Beam Suntory, part of the Budweiser Reserve series. And I have been talking about this for at least 2 years, telling people, they ought to make some Budweiser collaborations, barrel aged type things. And now they're doing it, aged on real barrel staves. All right, it says tap into your beer. Well, I checked that website. This is not listed there. It's got the same UPC as Budweiser Freedom Reserve. I think the plan is that Freedom Reserve stays on the market officially until till September 3rd, Labor Day, 2018, and then it'll be immediately replaced by this Copper Lager. But like normal, it's coming out earlier than the official release date. And they said they're going to kill off the Freedom Reserve while they concentrate on this one. They're going to make a big push. It's similar in style to the Budweiser Black Crown, which was 6% in an amber lager. This is more a copper lager, darker, slightly higher alcohol, 6.2 as opposed to 6. I assume it's made with water, barley malt, rice or corn, hops, yeast, maybe hop extract. Okay, clear, copper, ivory head. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of people doing reviews for it over the next few weeks. We saw John and Neil first, then I did the release party, and now the solo review. My friend David will probably want to do a duo review. So they say they're going to make it in bottles, these little squat bottles, which they started, remember, with the natural light in these bottles. Now they use them for the Budweiser series. Draft and maybe cans, but they didn't talk about cans yet. All right. It's not too aromatic, but you pick up some toasted malts, maybe some corn adjunct. They might use rice though. It's hard to say, but maybe in the taste I can pick that up. Bourbon, honestly, if I didn't know it was made with the Jim Beam bourbon staves, I would never remark about that in the aroma. I would just say the toasted malts and all of that. There might be a slight vanilla bourbon characteristic, but it's so faint that if I hadn't known that, like I said, I wouldn't remark on it. Let's go with the taste. You get some of the wood, char, not really, just some wood, some very, very faint Jim Beam vanilla notes, but none of the stuff you get with Jim Beam bourbon, like the green wood, the cellar mold, the heavy corn, the char. No. So there's an undertaste of Jim Beam, but it's very low profile. It's not an overt flavor. It's just like a little added character to the beer. Light to medium body. I think the calorie count's probably about 185 on this. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing. And a fairly crisp finish. It's easygoing. In many ways, it's similar to the Black Crown and to the Beck Sapphire. Well, you know, Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch has been trying to push these extra strength beers for many decades. They came out in 1970 with the Budweiser malt liquor. It wasn't received too well, apparently. The sales were not good. It didn't really unseat Colt 45 or the Schlitz malt liquor bull. They had old little cartoon advertisements with Mighty Malt. That was the little character, like a superhero with a black outfit, riding a bull, taming a bull, fighting a bull and taming it, riding a colt and taming it, but it didn't really work. Then they reformulated it with a higher strength. I think the complaint was it didn't have enough alcohol, and it was an all malt liquor, no corn or rice adjunct, just all barley malt. Apparently the malt liquor drinkers didn't really care or even understand what that meant. They came out later in the 90s with Michelob malt, an all malt liquor, to test it out. That didn't last. I never even saw it. I just have it in some literature. Okay, so that Budweiser thing failed. Then in '84 they came out with King Cobra, right? To replace the Budweiser malt liquor. That's just a standard adjunct, extra strength 6% lager. That seems to have done very well. 95, you know, they came out with Hurricane malt liquor, 6%. Has done fairly well, but it's been upstaged by the Hurricane High Gravity, the 8.1%, which has largely replaced it. You can find the black label Hurricane. I see it occasionally in Louisiana, but 95% of what I see is the silver label, the High Gravity, which is a little too strong for me. And they have the ice beers, 5.5, 5.9, using a different process. But so those, you know, regular beer flavor, you know what I mean, standard flavor malt liquors, Hurricane High Gravity, King Cobra, they seem to do well. But they seem to have struggled getting people to buy into the upscale malt liquors, extra strength beers like this. And will this be successful? Well, I guess it probably will be. They're going to really put a big push on it. But the main thing is, are the people going to like the way it tastes? They apparently like King Cobra and Hurricane. And if you get on the Hurricane, if you get on Tap Into Your Beer, it says Hurricane is what did they say? An upscale malt liquor, a high end. That's what they call it, a high end malt liquor. And this is even higher end. So the taste, you say, well, it's dark. It must have a tangy taste. Oh, I see a lot of sediment rolling around in here too, by the way. Little fine particles. It's not super flavorful. So if you're if you're looking for something that's like bursting with flavor, it just has a lot of rich character and all that. I don't think it had more character when I had mine warm. The one I did last night was not cold as I wanted it. Really, these come across nice when you have them really dead cold. I put this in the freezer for a little while, not long, and then in the fridge, back in the fridge, which is probably the way most people are going to drink it. I don't think you're going to have too many American drinkers letting it warm up to get the more flavor. That's, yeah, you probably could or should do it, but you know, people aren't going to do it. They're going to have it down in the ice chest, covered with ice and dead cold. So the way I'm drinking it is the way most people testing it are going to drink it. You know, you got a little handful of beer enthusiasts like myself to do the videos that might let it warm. But you know, so that's the key. How is the average consumer going to regard it? Are they going to pull in a lot of spirits drinkers? Maybe as a curiosity. I don't think they're going to start drinking this regularly. Will it be as popular as Freedom Reserve? I don't know. I mean, Jim Beam has a following now. So a little bit of that syrupy malt's coming through like you get with a Marzen beer. It has a lot of Marzen characteristics. And I think they're launching it at the right time, right around Oktoberfest. Get it? You see what I mean? They know what they're doing with this. I mean, it's all planned out. It's kind of like that. All right, so how would I score it? Yesterday I said 94 out of 100 in A. I still would go there because there's no kind of funny, off-putting flavors. I did start picking up on a little bit of that with the Black Crown. Like there was some little things that said, and I brought it down to A-. But honestly, King Cobra can rival this, and you know it's going to be a little bit. You can buy a 6-pack of pint cans, not 12 ounce, but 16 ounce, at Food for Less for less than this. About after tax, about $6 for that, and you can get the 40 ounce bottles of King Cobra for about $2.25. No, it's not toasted malt. No, it's not copper. It's golden, but it has the body, it has the approachability, it has nice flavors that can rival this. Same thing with the 6% Hurricane. So it's all there in the mix. It's however it's how you want to approach it. But I will say 90. Let's say I said 94 last night. I'm gonna drop it to 93 at the very bottom edge of an A, most excellent, but above A-. You say, man, you're cutting it kind of narrow, right? Yeah, but why not? Hey, I will be curious to see what my friend David says about it. But I would highly recommend it. If I'm saying it's most excellent, yeah, I'm going to recommend it. But just be warned, it's not super flavorful and rich, which will appeal to many drinkers who don't like all that. They find it's cloying and gamey kind of type flavor. But then other people want that. Totally personal preference issue there. But the quality of this is super high. I mean, they were on point with that. So anyway, thanks for watching this video production, and y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana, les bon temps roulé.